Welcome to Two Hotties and a Naughty, a podcast about life's little victories, hotties, and constant disappointments, naughties. Here are your hosts, Michael Beck, Hicks, and Dwight Slappe.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Two Hotties and a Naughty. My name is Hicks.
I'm Dwight Slappe.
I'm Michael Beck.
So, as you may have recalled from last week, I won. Third time's a charm, so I get to pick the winner chicken dinner hottie intro of the week. And for this, I'm going to select your favorite after school or Saturday morning cartoon. So your hottiest cartoon when you were growing up. We got together recently and had dinner together. It was awesome a few days ago. And these guys said that, they really missed the boat on Captain Planet. And I kind of did too. But anyways, I'm going to throw this out to kind of see, where everyone stands in lines of cartoon. Me personally, it took a while to come up with mine. But I have decided after much consideration to go with DuckTales. Ooh.
Oh.
Fuck. Well, there goes mine.
I knew it. Yes. Victory is mine again. All right. But no.
God damn it.
It's about a duck who's a billionaire. Do I have to draw you guys a diagram of why it's my favorite?
Exactly. So that's why I chose it, just to be back to the punch. One of my other considerations, I think, is what Dwight's going to go with, but I'll leave that to be seen. But DuckTales is phenomenal. First off, it had, if not the best theme song of a cartoon, maybe just one of the best themes of any TV show ever. It's so catchy. It was just great. Had a great cast of characters from, Uncle Scrooge. You had Huey, Dewey, and Louie. You had Gyro. You had, what was the guy?
Already lost.
But no. What's Gizmo Duck? Gizmo Duck.
Of
yes,
course.
Gizmo Duck.
Beck, do you want to take over since you clearly love this show more than Slice does?
Oh no.
Well, you have great villains on DuckTales too.
Magic Dispel.
I'm prompting you here, Slice, with
That's isn't it magic? Is it Magic Dispel or
Magica?
Magica.
Okay, I thought you said Magic Dispel.
No.
But yes, there's Flintheart,
Magic's a
Glomgold.
whole other creature.
There's the Beagle Boys and Ma Beagle. I know all of them. It just I got
Flintheart, Glomgold.
I just said that.
Oh, I'm
Slice
sorry.
said that.
I was too busy thinking about that Magica Dispel.
I
You
can't
guys know
blame
what
you
I'm talking
there.
about.
She had that pet bat, didn't she? She had a pet bat.
Yeah.
What was that?
I'd be her pet bat.
And not to mention, I think probably one of the best spin-off NES games. That DuckTales Nintendo game was amazing. That moon level, phenomenal. And also the voice actors. Tyler. Oh man.
Oh,
now
you're going deep on it now.
Oh man. But thinking about this, I had the benefit because I got to pick this week. I was curious and I started looking up individuals, and lo and behold, the voice for Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Webby, as a matter of fact, is Russi Taylor, a legend of voice actors who also did such voices as Martin from The Simpsons, the German kid Uther, I think was his name from The Simpsons, also Minnie Mouse. She married the guy who did the voice for Mickey Mouse too in real life. So it's pretty
Walt
phenomenal.
Disney?
Yes, that was it. That was the one. But yeah, no, it's some just DuckTales ruled, man. What about Dwight?
Listen, I love DuckTales. I'm of two minds here because everybody has a couple of phases as they watch cartoons growing up.
Sure.
The first cartoon that had the biggest impact on me as a child is Muppet Babies.
Of course.
Muppet Babies and Gonzo in general taught me that it's okay to be a weirdo. He has a whole song about it.
Yep.
They went on little adventures. They got to use movie clips somehow.
Yeah, how did the rights for that work? Yeah, that's weird.
I don't know. I don't know if you can now, but there was a huge stretch where you could not get it on DVD. It's not streaming anywhere. I think that's exactly the reason, because it's great, but there are Star Wars clips, there are Indiana Jones clips. I think there are Casablanca clips in it.
They owe the estate of Humphrey Bogart a lot of money.
And truth be told, I buried the lead a little bit here because you know what? Russie Taylor voiced Gonzo in Muppet Babies. Boom.
Oh, man.
Right? Because that's
a
what
hero.
I was... Yep. I was leaning towards saying Muppet Babies myself. It was a fantastic cartoon.
You always got excited because Bunsen and Beaker weren't on every episode, but like once every 4 episodes they'd show up like, oh, this is going to be a good one. There are going to be some science shenanigans.
They brought the big dogs out. Come on, Bunsen. Come on, Beaker.
I have a very strong memory of like an E.T. parody, but really it was a koala that escaped from the local zoo that they were hiding and they assumed was an alien.
Yes.
Which, look back, I don't know.
It worked.
That
Yeah,
sounds
Muppet Babies.
charming.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Did you ever watch Muppet Babies back?
Yes, I did. And everyone will be shocked to know that friend of the show, my father, disapproved of Muppet Babies because he thought it was, which it is, a waste of time knockoff of The Muppet Show, which is one of the great products of American television.
It's a knockoff. Like, they didn't have permission from the Muppet people to make Muppet Babies. They were making Muppet Babies at some sweatshop.
Acting like it's the GoBots of the Muppet Show. Come on. Just a younger
My dad
version.
also disapproved of my liking the 80s Alvin and the Chipmunks rather than watching the original. And he shouldn't have let me watch either of them because they're both deeply annoying to grown-ups. But
I don't know, that Alvin the Chipmunks movie where they're trying to get around the world,
The
right?
hot air
Yes,
balloons.
the
yeah.
Chipmunks
The hot air
and
balloons?
Chipettes.
Yes, both.
Mhm. That's a great movie.
It's a great. I watched the crap out of that movie as a kid.
Oh yeah.
It is. I remember my mother took me to see that movie in a theater that's in old North Dayton, Ohio, which to me, as a kid who lived in East Dayton, might as well have been on the moon. It was far away, and it had this tiki theme, like it was, from the late 50s, early 60s. I don't know. And to me, as a kid, this, I'm sure disgusting theater by 1988 or whenever it was the most glamorous, exciting thing in the world. And I got to see the Alvin and the Chipmunks movie there. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Phenomenal.
I was gonna talk about how it's 2 minds when you get a little older, your taste change, but I don't want to take whatever Beck's pick is from him. So we can circle back around on that.
I already did that. So
Yeah.
and I've obviously been killing time trying to narrow it down what my pick is going to be, but now I'm on the spot, so I have to choose.
It's Heathcliff, isn't it? It's Heathcliff.
he's the one terrorizing the neighborhood.
I also actually have a very specific memory of my father watching Heathcliff with me.
So Heathcliff was cool?
I don't know. So something happened in Heathcliff, and they all started screaming, run away, run away, which my dad enjoyed very much at the time, and then repeated several times in the coming weeks. And this was very exciting to me, because I always liked it when grown-ups thought the same things that I thought were funny were funny. So that was very exciting. But Heathcliff, no, is I do not want it to be canon of the show that Heathcliff is my favorite cartoon.
Beck's dad was not a Cadillac cat. Don't get it twisted. He was not.
No, and my mom, I remember, disapproved of Heathcliff. I think because she thought it was an animated talking cat and somehow confused it with that 70s porno animated cartoon.
Oh, what is the name of that?
Fritz the Cat.
Fritz the, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, they did both have very shitty animation, so I understand the
And some
understand the
sexy
overlap.
cats.
Yeah. So my favorite cartoon as a kid after DuckTales would be, oh Jesus, and now I can't remember the name of it. A Chip and Dale.
Rescue Rangers.
Rescue Rangers. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. They and I'm gonna have poor detail recall here.
It's all right. We got you. Don't you? We got you. Don't worry about it.
The town they lived in was called Cape Suzette. I remember that.
Yep.
Which clearly had like a Pacific Northwest vibe, which is a part of the country that I've never spent very much time in, but have always had the sense that it would be my favorite part of the country. So I like that. I thought that they flew a seaplane. I thought seaplanes were very cool.
Yes.
I liked that Shere Khan was an anthropomorphic tiger and kind of the villain, but also once in a while their friend. I always like it when the good guys have to work with the bad guy. I always enjoyed that trope. Yeah. I don't really like Launchpad. I never cared very much for that character.
That's
I thought he
Monterey
was
Jack.
the weak.
That's
No,
Monterey Jack.
Launchpad. No, you're right. Launchpad was on.
DuckTales.
No, but he was
DuckTales.
on a set. He was on a second show too.
Was it
Was he on
Tailspin?
Darkwing Duck? He was on Darkwing Duck.
Oh,
as
Darkwing
well.
Duck. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Monterey.
Tailspin. Is Tailspin the show I've actually been talking about?
Yes,
Rather
because
than-
Shere Khan is not in Chip and Dale. It's Fat Cat is
So-
in Chip and Dale.
I've combined two different shows.
I think
rather
you've
than-
merged them.
Well, they had a plane though. Didn't the Rescue Rangers have a plane?
Yeah, Monterey Jack flew it. And
That's right.
Yeah.
And I
Right?
need you to. We can do research on this later because I don't know which one came out first. But if you look at it, either Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers or the TV show Wings are based on each other. If you look at Chip
What?
and Dale and the two brothers from Wings, they are mirror images. One always wears a Hawaiian shirt. He's goofy. He's irresponsible. The other one's a great pilot, and he's trying to keep his brother in line constantly.
Wow, that makes So
So what's
Yeah.
the Roy character in Chip
It's
and Dale?
definitely they've combined the Roy and the woman that runs the food stand
Mhm.
into Monterey Jack, obviously. And Tony Shalhoub is the little fly that flies around.
Zipper.
I'm also very proud of myself that I remember Roy.
I was
Man.
about to say the woman who runs the food stand is named Crystal, but that's the actress's name. And how I remember the actress's name and not the character's name is insane. Shout out Crystal Bernard. Why?
Yes.
Why?
Oh man, I see. Now I'm going down a rabbit hole here because Wings came out in '90 and Chip and Dale was '89. So I thought it would be the reverse.
Nope.
Amazing.
Total ripoff. It's all good. Things your dad wouldn't like, Beck. It's a total
Right.
ripoff.
I recall my father enjoying Wings. So
Who didn't? It was a great
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, it
Cheer
was.
spinoff.
It was a great time. Yeah.
I just want to give a shout out because no one ever remembers what I'm talking about to Banana Man and Count Duckula.
Oh,
These were
my
BBC
God.
cartoons that aired. I don't know where I saw them. Probably PBS.
Nickelodeon.
But they were both 15 minutes, and they were part of the same half hour.
Mm-hmm.
And Banana Man was fine. It was a classic superhero, whatever. But Count Duckula was my stuff. He lived in a castle that would teleport around, and he had to get back to the castle before midnight, or it wouldn't be there, and he'd be stuck outside, which happened every episode. But great stuff.
Oh, that was a great show. I loved that show, and I'd completely forgotten about it until now.
I also want to mention X-Men, but as I'm watching
yeah.
X-Men 97 and as an adult, it's not a thing I watched growing up, apparently. It's a thing I'm still watching.
Right. Exactly. Because that was up at the forefront too. And I was like, I feel like that's cheating. So yeah. Oh man, Danger Mouse. Because it was like Danger Mouse was on the
Oh,
same
Danger
thing,
Mouse too. That's the
Yeah.
other one I meant to. But yeah, Danger Mouse, Banana Man, Count Duckula. I think Danger Mouse and Count Duckula were together most of the time,
Right,
and then Banana
yeah.
Man would show up randomly.
Right. Good times.
I missed all of this somehow. I don't know how.
Blame your dad. He didn't want you being influenced by those British, the Brits. He said, nope, no son of mine.
You sit down next to me and watch this Heathcliff episode with me.
Woody Woodpecker, boy, that's what we're watching today in the Flintstones.
We're going to watch this owl who enjoys jazz music try to hide it from his family.
Now, my dad did enjoy the Flintstones. I assume because Fred and Barney were used in Winston cigarette commercials in the 60s.
Time for personal hotties, homegrown hotties as we might call them. My hottie this week is friendship. We were all in the same room together this week.
Yeah.
I love it. I approve.
What
Absolutely.
a magical time. Even Sullivan was there. He didn't say anything, as just like on this podcast, but he was there.
Yep, the man behind the curtain. He was actually behind a curtain too when we were there. He was just sitting
The
there.
restaurant was
corner.
very upset that we asked for that curtain, but they eventually that curtain was put up. As we grow older, these times happen, less and less. So it was really great to see my friends face to face. The four of us and our friend Justin McElroy all had a lovely dinner at a German restaurant. Food was great. And now if we could just get... Slice lives within an hour of me. If we could just get Beck to move back to crippling... God damn it. Slice lives within... Yes. God damn it. Cripplingly depressing West Virginia. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
That stays.
Thank you. Pew pew. Yeah, seriously, Beck, if we could get you to move back here, that'd be really convenient for everybody.
Yes.
All of you should move to Virginia, but we shouldn't live in Lynchburg. We should live in a better town. But
See, that's it. You can start. You guys should. Oh, Lynchburg. Oh, I can't even get halfway. Yeah. Oh no. You guys want to work
Virginia,
at
West
Liberty?
Virginia.
Oh no. Oh no.
there are some ice cream places in town. You could work at one of them.
And work over at the Rural King or something. Maybe the Tractor Supply.
Surely they have a Menards.
No, we do have a Tractor Supply, but not a Menards.
God damn it. I'm out. But I'd say this happens twice a year, maybe, if that. And I'm sort of the buzzy little bee around our friend group, and I try to hoard as many of us in a room as possible, whenever possible. So it was nice. This sort of happened organically. Beck actually planned this one, which I was shocked by.
Right.
Usually he only hangs out with us one at a time in small rooms.
He gets overwhelmed otherwise.
It's it's 101, dim lights, low Sade playing. I mean, I like Sade, but every time?
I was going to say Miles Davis. That's what he plays when we're together. But yeah, Sade, I'm jealous.
You're going to be very excited about our next meeting, Dwight, when it's just going to be you and me in a vast, dark warehouse with one naked spotlight.
We're just texting each other from afar. The same room.
Staring across the warehouse.
But yeah, no, it was a lovely evening. Lovely evening.
Slice, you were great. It was great.
I do what I can. I had a delicious Appalachian hot chicken sausage, and it was great. That turbo kraut, delicious, as always.
Too bad we got that turbo kraut in the White House, right, guys? High five. High five. High five.
Oh, best friends. Well, is it my turn again?
Yes.
That's your cue.
That all stays in too, because it's every week now. Oh, are you done talking? Thank God.
Sullivan's just going to put the Jeopardy music in between whatever leads up to Beck's. So he's like, oh, it's me.
As the writer Fran Lebowitz says, the opposite of talking isn't listening, it's waiting. So my homegrown hottie this week is leather upholstery.
Ooh.
Yeah, I heard Dwight's very personal friendship, and I decided to go as impersonal as I could. No, leather upholstery is great. I mean, aside from the fact that it's beautiful and something often has to be killed for it, although there are very fine vegan leathers too. They've made great strides there. As a grown-ass man with a Labradoodle puppy, leather upholstery is great because it's easy to clean. You just wipe it off. And don't have to worry about spot cleaning and things. So like we have, and I mean, Coco isn't permitted on any of the leather furniture in the house, but like in the car, there's leather upholstery. She likes to rub against the leather upholstery sometimes, and in the living room, it's great. It doesn't get all weird and dogified. Yeah, and I love it. We also have my wife on Facebook Marketplace about 6 months ago purchased a chair that she loves. It is her favorite thing in the house, including me and Coco. She loves this chair. It is a green leather swivel chair. That I will say new at the very fancy leather goods operation in our area. This chair costs $5,000.
Jesus.
But yeah, I know. What sort of asshole has a $5,000 chair in their house? My wife got it for like $400 or $500 on Facebook Marketplace, though, and it's in incredible condition. But there are people who decide, I'm bored with this chair that costs more than several of the cars Beck has driven in his life. I need something new. So
I love leather furniture. It's great. I have cats, so I will never spend money for it. No matter how much you think your cat doesn't fuck up your furniture, put a leather chair in your house.
Yep. Those corners are toast within a day. Oh, yeah.
Oh, do they scratch?
Oh, you better believe it.
Leather, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I did have, last time I moved in Huntington, I'd killed a couch and I needed a new couch. And I went to Habitat for Humanity Restore just to see what they had. And they had a used leather couch. There was like one stain on it where somebody sat on it with wet hair for too long, something. I was like, you know what? That's great though. It was $200. Went up to the counter, and the woman working there says she's just mad. She walks over and what? I was like, well, I'd like to purchase that couch over there. I'm sorry if you're having a bad day. And she's like, oh, thank you for saying that. My boss is a real asshole. I said, oh, that sucks. She said, how much is that couch? I was like, it says it's $200. She's like, well, today it's $60 because he's an ass. So that's my great Habitat community.
Hey, that is right. Yeah.
And that's why it pays off to show kindness. Ask someone about their day, or just say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're going through some stuff right now.
That's
Hope
a
things
great
get better."
lesson to take from that. I never did take before just now.
I also have
Right.
a story about purchasing leather furniture at the Restore. The chair that my wife has in her office, chair and ottoman, were purchased locally at the Restore for like $100, and they're terrific.
Is this all you guys do? Go searching for cheap leather chairs on like Marketplace or Habitat? Like you guys have been wheeling and dealing. And
there are whole rooms of our house slice that are just stacked floor to ceiling with leather furniture. It's
I'll buy stuff I don't even need, just so somebody who's worse off than me can't have it. You guys don't do that?
well, I used to in my younger days, but then I'm a changed man now. I let the leather be shared. As you can see back here behind me, this guy's scratched. You can't see it, listeners at home, unless you're watching our YouTube channel. But yeah, I've got a fine. It looks great up here, but if you look at the bottom, the cats have ravished this thing. It's terrible shape. But speaking of finer goods, my homegrown hottie for this week is going to be a bidet. Yes, gents, a bidet. The height of luxury. So I was traveling recently. I was gone from Friday to Monday. And every time I travel, regardless of how good of a time I have, it's always a little rough because I'm without the comfort of my bidet. I love my bidet. Brought upon by COVID, like so many people, and the toilet paper shortages. I went out there, got on Amazon, got myself a little $25 bidet, installed that bad boy, and I haven't turned back since. I've got a little bit of upgrades here. It doesn't have the heated seat yet. I'm working my way up to that. I'll reward myself someday when this podcast really takes off. But for the time being...
I just want that bidet money. That's all I want. Right. I'm not greedy.
I'm just slumming it here with still the little screw-on seat and everything. I did get a little fancier. It's its own dedicated seat now. It's not like the separate seat, and I had to go do all this. Anyways, I love a bidet. I feel so fresh, so clean. So I won't get too graphic on this, I promise. Not like crusty socks from last week. But yes.
The graphic content's behind our paywall.
That's
so
right, exactly. You do our Patreon, and I will hook you up with some really crazy stuff. No.
Two Hotties and Naughtys sounds like a pornography show, and usually isn't, but sometimes it is.
For the right price, it can be. It can be.
To sum up, we do toilet stuff for money.
And maybe feet if the price is right. Someone might come out of retirement and maybe
I have an admission. This will be surprising because I often enjoy the finer things in life. I have never used a bidet.
Ooh.
Well, after we do our Hot Pocket episode, then you're going to have to try a bidet.
Welcome to episode 34. Michael Beck reviews bidets.
I don't think you even need to speak during your review of bidet. It's just a hard camera on your face.
That's it.
And we'll know by your facial expressions how the bidet is going.
Too rough. This water pressure. Oh, that's hard water. That's...
I'm with you, Slice. I love a bidet. I've never been
best.
fortunate enough to have one in my home, but yes, they're great.
Hey, man, still $30 on Amazon. I'll come install it for you. You clean the place first, and then I'll take care of it. But,
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been over to your house several times. You've never offered me the bidet.
Well, it's my bedroom, so the bathroom off of my bedroom. You're more than welcome to use it anytime. I put one in my grandma's bathroom too. I don't know if it's working properly right now.
The less we know about that, the better.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But like I said, I'll install yours any day. You just ask. Buy me around.
now it's time for our naughties. My naughty this week, gentlemen. It's a naughty one. And it was almost a hottie, but I decided no, I'm leaning in toward the evil of it. My naughty this week is rage. And my rage, and how I'm sick of being angry all the time. And part of the reason that I'm sick of being angry all the time is that when I'm enraged, other people tend to find it hilarious rather than motivating or frightening. Yeah, and in this rage, I don't know if it's events. I mean, it's definitely events, but yeah. I don't know how much of it is also just being a 44-year-old man. That can't help either. It's just, I mean, we all see what's going on out there. It sucks.
Yeah, we had a brief discussion before we started recording about Beck's got work stuff to worry about. I've got medical stuff to worry about, thanks to, well, I'll say the administration, the government in general. Yeah, it's just all added stress, and life's already hard enough.
Yeah, yeah. I should also say that the views expressed on this podcast do not reflect those of my employer, who may have fired me by the end of this recording. So, but just want to get our legal team is telling me that I need to get that out there. So.
Beck, I was talking about tariffs on your Etsy shop. Are you talking about something else?
Dwight, those friendship bracelets are my livelihood.
I was going to say, where am I going to get my LBJ coffee mugs now? What are we going to do?
Do you know how much it costs to keep crystal and leather furniture?
Do you know what slums of Virginia we're going to have to browse on Marketplace to try to find leather furniture now?
We're going to have to go through flood-ravaged territory. Climb to the second floors of buildings. God, I hope there's something left.
I'll have to fashion a raft by tying together a couple of doors floating past, and it'll be terrible.
That's not going to support that furniture, I'll tell you that right now.
Nope.
It's not going to support Leo. It's not going to support you and that furniture.
No, certainly not me. I mean, I think I can probably train Coco, like, to paddle in the water and pull me on the door, though. I think something more substantial, she might not have the wherewithal to pull her big fat owner and a boat. So.
Maybe you can harness some of that rage and use that energy, that rage, to kick and paddle while, Coco steers and,
I cannot be more clear that I will not be working out my rage doing any sort of physical exertion.
I was going to suggest you buy one of those big rubber men they sell at like Dick's Sporting Goods.
Ooh,
and just
yes.
go to town on it.
Yes, and make a YouTube channel, just like Beck rage punches stuff. That's it. And I'm subscribed already.
The number of times someone has suggested to me I buy a big rubber man and just go to town on it, too many times.
You'll work your rage out one way or another.
I like to think I'm the first non-doctor to tell you.
Speaking of rage, so my, my naughty, as many naughties are, is pretty enraging itself. But it would be airport restaurants and shops. As I was flying this past weekend, I don't fly very often, and sometimes these shops and restaurants remind me why I don't. As if the price of a plane ticket isn't bad enough, I get to go get subpar food from some local, basically the quality of like your Applebee's or whatever, and they're going to charge me like $150 for 4 people's meals. Granted, there may have been a few beverages in there. I like to get a couple beers before a flight. So but those beers are about $12 a piece, and it takes a toll. It takes a toll. So I mean, as Annex is much cheaper, I hear, but
It is.
I guess.
Oh.
But
do you need some? I know a guy.
I just might if these airport restaurant prices keep up. But no, it is just like we went in like on our flight back, and the guy just pulls up and says, "There's a QR code," which I don't mind a QR code for the menu or whatever. But it was just fully like on the phone, like, and there were some some pros and cons to it, but it was just like purely enter your order here, do this, there's no questions or anything, we have like no contact with you, but your ass better still be tipping that 20%. And I did, but God, it was kind of, it was rough doing so. I was like, I think maybe he even come around once just to ask if we wanted refills on the water, and it's like, well, that's
like
not
you
great.
can't start tipping the robots. If you start tipping the robots, they've won.
Right. This is how Skynet gets to power. This is when they become full force, because they use our tip money and they develop the T-9000, right? That's it.
That's it. That's the exact
This is how it happens.
plot.
John Connor was right all along. God, I was been so foolish.
Well, now that they can't rely on their National Science Foundation grants anymore, the robots have to turn to their only other revenue stream, which are tips from Slice.
Shitty airport restaurants. That's it. That's it. I paid $20 for a fucking loaded tater tots. Loaded tater tots. They weren't that loaded. It was cheap cheese spread on it, and they said there was some pork butt or whatever. I don't know. Pulled pork. Pulled pork is cheap to make. Come on, guys. That whole meal costs like $3 to make. And,
all pork butt you. And so forth. Yes.
So yeah.
Oh God. Every time I've flown, I think I've eaten at a chain restaurant inside the airport. I'm trying to remember the name of the place I ate in Atlanta last year, but it was definitely
Chili's?
a chain. No, I have eaten at an airport Chili's though. Definitely. And at airport TGI Fridays. Absolutely. Those things have happened. I got so drunk at a TGI Fridays at the DC airport, I almost missed a flight. I had to run drunkenly to a plane.
See, that's the luxury of a larger airport. There's competition. We were flying back from Portland, Maine, where there's like 5 or 6 gates, and there's like 2 restaurants in there. So, there's not much competition. It's all price gouging all around.
It sounds awful. Like you're suffering more than anybody in the country.
Anybody.
Right now.
It was super naughty, That's my rage, guys. I know there's stuff with your Medicare and your job and everything, but did you hear how much I paid for a beer? Think about that. $12? How can I sustain
that? You have a family. You have
I have 2 kids, okay? They're not cheap. And Papa needs that beer to fly on this plane. So what am I going to do, guys? Beck, forget your leather furniture and your job. Dwight, don't worry about that stuff. Medicine?
Yeah.
Nature's the real medicine. Vitamin D meds.
We got through centuries without medicine.
That's right.
I am honored to have the first callback naughty of this show. Because in the first episode or second episode, I can't remember, and I didn't care enough to look it up. My naughty was having the same name as my dad. Well, let me tell you a story about a man named Dwight. Earlier this week, I got a Facebook message from a friend of mine in Huntington, and they send a blurry mugshot photo. And it's, if you go on the mugshot site, it is blurry. I don't know what happened there, but they said, "Oh my God, Dwight, has your identity been stolen, or have you been arrested?" And then they apologized to me in case I'd been arrested, which I thought was a nice touch. I click on the link, I see the picture. It is my half brother, the child my dad had before he married my mother and had 2 kids with her. And the reason she thought my identity had been stolen is because this guy's middle name is, you guessed it, Dwight. So she saw a blurry picture of Dwight Slappe and thought, well, only 2 options here, because surely there aren't 2 Dwight Slappes running around. And I had to break it to her. I guess there are 3 of us now. There are 3 of us running around. There's me.
And Dwight, when did you learn that his middle name was Dwight?
When she sent the link. I had no clue. It had never been brought up. I mean, I don't have any contact with my half-brother. Nobody in my family really does. So I don't know how it would have come up organically, but it seems like, I don't know, if you would sit a child down and say, listen, it might come up one day and we don't want you to worry about it. But we gave your name a test run. Not we didn't take it out on the road, but we drove it around the lot a few times just to see how it was going to go. I think it's obvious that my dad lost a fight with his first wife about naming the kid Dwight and got relegated to second, and made sure I got his full ass name. So that was a fun, again, as listeners of this podcast know, will I discuss this with my father in any meaningful way? No, I won't. And he'll be grateful that we don't have that conversation. But I was a little taken aback. Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't blame you. Yeah. I mean, at least it was the middle name there, but that's rough.
I guess it worked out me being named Dwight, but it wasn't the easiest thing to grow up with. And now I was like second Dwight choice. It's messed up.
So and just out of curiosity, do you think that things got better or worse or stayed about the same after Dwight Schrute was introduced to everybody? Do you think that had an impact on?
No. I mean, by the time that rolled around, I was a fully formed adult, so it really didn't matter to me.
Right.
It does, when I try to fluff my own ego and Google myself, that hurts because there's so much of that asshole.
Yeah.
And I've had somewhat of a presence online for a long time now. That Dwight S. It's just not going my way, fellas.
I didn't even think about the S. Yeah. Oh. So all you slice H's, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane out
there. The other Michael Beck was star of the original The Warriors.
Okay. Everyone remembers that.
Terribly handsome fellow. Also star of Gene Kelly's last movie, which involved roller skating. It's called Xanadu.
But hated leather furniture. Hated.
Oh yeah, hated it. Yeah. Just cannot hate leather furniture enough, and just loves bidets. Loves bidets. Uses them 10, 12 times a day.
This is like the second episode where we've done this. Just try to cram in everything we've talked about at the end, no matter how ham-handed. You got.
Yep.
As Scrooge McDuck would say, "Fuck bidets."
I'm raging over here.
The small children who listen to this podcast have to learn about comedic callbacks from someone. Better us than out on the streets.
Because nobody does it better than us.
That's right.
Oh, God. Well, that's our show. Hope everyone enjoyed listening. We put all our shows on YouTube now, full shows. And really, that's the best way to get to us, I think. You can comment, subscribe, Just a little
Yeah,
click. Please do
You
that.
can see that leather couch that I mentioned earlier behind me. You can't see the scratches. Maybe I'll share that in a future episode if you stay tuned and subscribe.
And we'll start doing more prop comedy if you like us on there.
Yeah, absolutely. Might even watch Count Duckula and like have live reactions to it someday.
A live Duckula rewatch?
Yeah. While Beck
That's
eats a Hot Pocket and
We've been again with those callbacks. We keep okay. All right, seriously, that's the end of the show. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Have a great week.
Good night. I love you.
Thank you for listening. This has been Two Hotties and a Naughty, a podcast about life's little victories and constant disappointments, as hosted by Michael Beck, Hicks, and Dwight Slappe. Editing and production by Michael Sullivan. Our theme is Handel's Entrance of the Queen of Sheba for two oboes, strings, and Continuo allegro, as performed by the Advent Chamber Orchestra. Crystal Howe speaking.